At least 30 people in New Jersey died when the remnants of Hurricane Ida struck our state, many drowning in their cars or on flooded roadways. One Bridgewater man, though, is credited with saving 8 people. And as News 12's Brian Donahue tells us, he was also the recipient of a stranger's helping hand that night.
The night the remnants of Hurricane Ida clobbered central Jersey, Janice Brown was at her parents' house in Bound Brook, making sure they'd be okay. As they watched news of a tornado watch in their area on TV, they heard a loud knock on the front door.
And I go out and it's pouring and there are 6 people in the driveway saying, "It's an emergency, we need help."
6 strangers, some scared and frazzled, all soaked, who had escaped vehicles stranded in rising floodwaters on this nearby section of Route 22.
There, right in front of me, there's a woman on top of her car, fully flooded, slowly moving through the highway, screaming, "Help, you gotta help me."
5 of them had been plucked from the floodwaters by UPS driver Nick Durla, whose own stranded truck was the highest point in the flood, a solid island of safety for drivers whose cars were floating away. Durla plucked one woman off the roof of her car as it floated by, pulled others through their car windows until his truck was full of human cargo.
Okay, well, it happened. We're broken down, we're pulling people through the windows.
Once Durla's own truck began filling with water, the group made a run for it.
We're walking up to our chest, through the highway with all of our belongings above our head.
And finally, to the Browns' front door. The perfect front door, turns out.
Your first thought has to be, what kind of a scam is this? No?
It wasn't. They all just seemed so scared and desperate.
Brown used her Jeep to shuttle the group in 2 trips from her parents' house to her own home in Bridgewater. She and her husband, Jim Sewell, gave them all a change of clothes, heated up a frozen pizza.
I wanted to talk about what had happened that evening. So just hung out, kind of got to know each other, and that was it.
3 were eventually picked up by family that night, but with so many local roads impassable, Durla and one older couple spent the night.
Have you heard from them since?
Nick's father actually dropped off a thank you note to us, and the older couple sent one in the mail too.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
6 people who found themselves in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then suddenly, thanks to the kindness of strangers, in exactly the right place.
I'm Brian Donahue. This is Positively New Jersey.
Yeah, thumbs up indeed. Nick used his truck to rescue drivers that night. 2 of them did not go to Janice's house. Janice Brown's husband, Jim, by the way, it turns out is also a UPS driver, but the 2 had never met.